Hi, and welcome to this edition of Fresh Hope for Mental Health. Our mission here at Fresh Hope for Mental Health is to empower you to live well in spite of your mental health challenge by sharing insights through interviews, practical tools for living well, encouragement, and courage for overcoming all from a Christian perspective. And now, here's your host, Pastor Brad Hoefs.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to this edition of Fresh Hope for Mental Health. I'm Brad Hoefs, your host. Normally on our podcast, I would talk to you about different topics or introduce other guests and talk about mental health issues, etc. But today I'd like to do something very different, and especially at the time I'm recording this, we're going to be entering into the holiday season. This is a Monday and Thursday is Thanksgiving, and as we head into those holidays, I think sometimes those who are going through difficulties and going through problems, and trust me, some of my worst times were at this time of the year, when I was the most broken and walking through a valley of pain and difficulties, remorse, and all kinds of things. So I wanted to share with you today 4 songs, and I think I'll do more of this in the future also, but 4 songs that really, really ministered to me and have helped me through some trials and tribulations. Because if you're going through something now, maybe you're grieving the loss of a loved one, maybe you're grieving the consequences of your own behavior, or maybe there's some broken relationships in your family, or you've lost your job, you're concerned about your future, maybe you have a wayward child. It could be a lot of things. Because this life is fraught with all kinds of pain and difficulties, and sometimes some real surprises as to where that pain comes from and where those difficulties end up being or happening. And so this podcast is really for anybody who's hurting, and I hope that you'll find it as a hope-filled podcast. The first thing that I know is that out of my pain, God has worked miraculously. In fact, I'm to the point where I'm really grateful for the difficulties and the painful things I've been through. Those things are things that God is using and redeeming within me. Now, I know that when you're going through the midst of it, that is the last thing you probably either want to hear, or most likely the last thing you can see God doing. But I can assure you that the Lord never wastes pain, and that the Lord sees every tear that you have cried. And He hears those tears as liquid petitions, as liquid prayers. The first song I'd like to introduce you to is maybe one you've heard many times before. But sometimes we live through life, and when we're going through those difficult times, we think, oh, where's the Lord? Why isn't He blessing? Can He change this? Where are His blessings? I don't see any blessings. I don't see Him. Well, Laura Story is a songwriter, a Christian artist, and she's written a song called Blessings. And I just recently listened to the story behind the song, the backstory of it. And interestingly enough, she wrote this song out of her struggle with her husband's illness, or their struggle regarding his illness together. And I'm not quite sure what the health problem was, but she said they were praying and praying for God to bless him, to heal him, and it wasn't coming and it wasn't coming. And then she found herself asking, is God blessing us? Is He just choosing to not bless us? And she struggled with that. And she said the Lord started redefining blessings for her. And she noted that blessings and intimacy with God really comes at our deepest moments, and when we walk through that valley of difficulties and pain and trials and tribulations. And I've got to say, that's what I believe too. I believe that the Lord really shows his mercy to us by pouring out blessings through painful things. She starts out her song by saying, we pray for blessings, we pray for peace, we pray for this, we pray for that, we pray for all kinds of things that we perceive to be blessings from God. And then she says, but what if blessings come a different way? What if they come through raindrops? What if they come through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know that the Lord is near? And what if the trials of this life are truly your mercies in disguise? Listen closely to the song. Let it minister to your heart right now, especially if you're going through something real difficult.
We pray for blessings. We pray for peace. Comfort for family. Protection while we sleep. We pray for healing, for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering. And all the while, you hear each spoken need. Yet love is way too much to give us lesser things. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? What if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? We pray for wisdom, your voice to hear. And we cry in anger when we cannot feel you near. We doubt your goodness, we doubt your love, as if every promise from your word is not enough. And all the while, you hear each desperate plea, and long that we'd have faith to believe. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? And what if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? And what if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? When friends betray us, when darkness seems to win, we know the pain reminds this heart that this is not our home. It's not our home. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? And what if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? What if my greatest disappointments or the aching of this life is the revealing of a greater thirst this world can't satisfy? And what if trials of this life, the rain, the storms, the hardest nights, all your mercy mercies in disguise.
Wow, isn't that a wonderful song? It's like a peaceful washover of God's grace and mercy when you listen to it. That song just ministers to me every time. I want to introduce you to a song that maybe you've not heard before. I happened to hear it when my friend Roger Walk sang it in our church when they were doing a concert here a month or so ago, and I asked him to come into the studio the next day and record the song for me, so that's who's going to be singing it here in a few moments here in the studio. I'd never heard this song before, and it's titled Unbroken. It's by Joel Smallbone. Just listen to some of the words. Until today, I believed without a doubt I had gone down this road way too far to turn around. Now, I don't know about you, but there's been many times where I've thought, I've messed up too big. This is too much for God. Or I probably wore his grace out. He's probably worn out on mercy on me. And so I'd have to carry the weight of my past on my back until the day I die, says Joel Smallbone in this song. But thanks to you, Lord, now I realize that every lie that's been told can be untold, and every soul that's been sold can be unsold. Every angry word that's been broken can be unspoken. Every heart that's been broke can be unbroken. Wow. Maybe you right now are feeling as though there's just too much behind you. There's just too much past. There's too many things. There's just too much brokenness that it won't do any good to turn around. Well, this song is for you then. He says in the song, I know that it takes a lot of guts to tell the truth, and a heart won't be fixed overnight when it's broken too. You never gave up on me, and even though I kept pushing you away, you showed me how it's not too late to change. Well, I'll let the rest of the song speak for itself. I want to ask you to really listen. Listen closely to these words, especially if you're feeling like you're a lost cause.
Until today, I believed without a doubt that I had gone down this road way too far to turn around. I thought I'd carry the weight of my past on my back till the day I died. But thanks to you, now I realize that every lie that's been told could be untold. Every soul that's been sold could be unsold. And every angry word that's been spoke could be unspoken. And every heart that's been broke could be unbroken. Sometimes it can take a whole lot of guts just to tell the whole truth. And a heart won't be fixed overnight when it's broke in two. Lord, you never gave up on me, even though I kept pushing you away. You showed me how it's never too late for change, and that every lie that's been told could be untold. Every soul that's been sold could be unsold, and every angry word that's been spoke could be unspoken, and every heart that's been broke could be unbroken, could be forgiven, 'cause it's never too late to be forgiven. Oh, and every lie that's been told could be untold. Every soul that's been sold could be unsold. Every angry word that's been spoke could be unspoken, and every heart that's been broke could be unbroken, could be unbroken, and you can be unbroken.
That's right. I know that it takes a lot of guts to tell the truth, and it takes a lot of guts to receive the truth. Receive the truth, my brother or sister. It's not too late. God has not given up on you. It's not too late for the broken to become unbroken. So, when you go through valleys of difficulties and struggles, probably one of the major things that happens is fear. I have been a fear-filled person so many times in my life. It probably started early on when my mom would say to me, "Don't do that, you'll fall and break your arm." Well, there was something to be afraid of. Fear can just freeze us and hold us. Fear of the unknown when life's been so interrupted in ways that we can't see a way out. We don't see light at the end of the tunnel. But the truth is that God is with us. The truth is, if you're going through a dark tunnel right now, God is with you, and there is no need to fear. He's with you. He won't give up on you. Even though there may be a storm raging around you, there's peace in the eye of that hurricane. There's peace in him. This next song is done by Wintley Phipps. And I got to tell you, I have found this song to be so encouraging and washes over me again with peace when I listen to it. It's called No Need to Fear.
No need to fear when times of trouble come, oppression storm beats at your door. No need to fear. No need to fear, though evil seems so strong. Their pride and power is not for long. Be still, my soul, and trust in God, and place your life into His hands, for He will never fail you. And in the morning you'll see His face. No need to fear. Don't fear. envy and the scorn of those who boast in what they own. No need to fear, for what remains when life's brief day is done, their glories are a setting sun. But as for me, of this I'm sure, God will redeem my soul from death, and He will never fail me. And in the morning I'll see His face. And He will never fail you. No one can tear you from His love, and He will never forsake you. And in the morning you see His face. No need to fear. Don't fear.
That's right, my friend. There is no need to fear. God is with you. He will see you through this. I'd like to close with a song that I ran across recently. Some of my very dearest friends in this world were going through a real trial and a tribulation, something that just caught them totally off guard, interrupted their lives totally. And the wife of this couple, she posted this song on Facebook. I had never heard it before. Even though it's written by Michael W. Smith, the recording I'm going to play for you is done by Aaron Keyes. It's a song called Sovereign Over Us. And I think it kind of wraps up this whole theme today, that God is sovereign over you and me. His plans, in spite of what we see and what we might be going through, are really, truly to bless us. His plans are good for us to prosper. And He is constantly reaching down to us in grace and mercy and holding us, surrounding us with His grace. He's sovereign. He is in control. In spite of the fact that life may feel like it's out of control, we might feel out of control, but He is sovereign over us. I encourage you to just close your eyes and let this song really minister to your heart.
There is strength within the sorrow. There is beauty in our tears. And you meet us in our mourning with a love that casts out fear. Yeah, you're working and are waiting. You are working in our waiting. You're sanctifying us. when beyond our understanding. You're teaching us to trust. Sing this hard. Your plans are still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. Yes, we trust you. It's a loving King. You are wisdom unimagined. Who could understand your ways? Reigning high above the heavens, reaching down in endless grace. Thank you, Lord. You're the lifter of the lowly, compassionate and kind. You surround and you uphold me, and your promises are mighty light. Your plans are still to prosper. You're not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign. Sing it again. Your plans are still to prosper. Your plans still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. You're faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. We rest in you. Just let the sovereignty of God just wash over you now. Just surrender control to the King of Reigns. Even what the enemy means for evil, you turn it for our good. You turn it for our good and for your glory. Even in the valley, you are faithful. You're working for our good. You're working for our good and for your glory. Come on, declare that tonight. Even what the enemy means for evil, you turn it for our good. You turn it for our good and for your glory. Even in the valley, you are faithful. You're working for our good. You're working for our good and for your glory. Your plan is still to prosper. You have not forgotten us. You're with us in the fire and the flood. Faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us. You're faithful forever, faithful. Faithful forever, perfect in love. You are sovereign over us.
Well, my friend, that concludes our podcast for today. The truth is that God is working for your good. He's working for your good, and His glory and His plans are still to prosper you. He's not forgotten you. He's with you in the fire and the flood that you're going through right now. And the Lord is faithful always, and He's perfect in His love. He's sovereign over you and me. And so, my friend, I hope and pray that this has been an encouraging podcast for you. And I pray that the Lord will surround you with His hope and His comfort and His peace. Be sure and tell your friends about this podcast. And if you would, share this podcast with anyone that you know that may need some hope right now because they're in a valley of difficulties. So until the next time, my friend, may the Lord hold you with His hope, His fresh and new hope that comes daily. Until then, I'm Brad Hoefs, your host, and this has been another edition of Fresh Hope for Mental Health.
You've been listening to Fresh Hope for Mental Health. If you have an opportunity, please review, share, and subscribe to the Fresh Hope for Mental Health podcast on iTunes or on the service that you use. We encourage you to share our podcast on social media with your friends and family. Previous podcasts of Fresh Hope for Mental Health can be found at freshhopeformentalhealth.com, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. Fresh Hope is one of the leading networks of faith-based peer support groups internationally. For more information about Fresh Hope, go to freshhope.us.
All of the songs played on today's podcast are available in your iTunes and Google Play stores.